All right, welcome back to the channel. It has been a few months since Brother Andrew has been here in the area, and he has made it through one semester of school. 7 more to go, maybe more, depending on what kind of degree you're going to get. But you missed out on some of the worst. Well, what day did you leave in January?
I know that I got there on the 14th. So I think
on the
it's
14th.
Or no,
January 14th.
I left that morning.
So you missed out on some of the worst. Well, I guess you got some of it, but some of the worst winter weather that I can remember here in Northeast Ohio. You missed out on that. So anyway, glad to have you back.
Good to be back.
Do you feel any different?
More mature.
More mature.
Bit. Yeah.
Less beard though.
I know. It's coming back.
Did you shave your beard for the video?
No.
The last one that we did?
Yes.
I don't remember.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I was in preparation for it.
Yeah, you were getting ready. You were getting in the mindset. So
yeah.
You're going to be here until end of August.
Yep.
Back in Northeast Ohio area. And tell us a little bit about your adventure there. Tell us about what California's like. I've never been. Probably some of the people watching probably have never been. So tell us a little bit about California and the weather there and the people there and the food and everything.
Yeah, so as soon as I got there, it was pretty nice. It was kind of cold in the mornings, but I think that's just because it was still like around springtime. Summer, I'm sure, is like really hot. So I think right now they're in 85 degrees, so like for the whole week. It's always sunny. I will give them that. It's always sunny. There's not very many clouds, and it doesn't rain much. It's like
doesn't rain much.
Like barely.
Really?
I think it probably rained in the whole like 3.5 months I was there. Probably 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah, 4.
Now is the grass green or is it like everything dying or what?
I mean, there's not much grass. Like
not much grass.
Yeah, because like where the college is at, there's like it's all industrial stuff, and so I mean there is grass. I just never paid attention to it. So there's a park next to the college though, and it was normal. You know, it wasn't dead or anything. So it's not like I went to Colorado before and it's all dead. So it at least has life to it.
Yeah.
As far as restaurants, it was really good. They have In-N-Out, so I had In-N-Out for the first time.
Yeah.
That was really good. Good pricing as well. And to my surprise, it wasn't as expensive for all the restaurants as I thought. Like my regular Chipotle meal was like $1 more. So I was expecting it to be like, crazy, outrageous prices. But
what about gas prices?
Gas is probably the biggest thing.
Really?
I think the most expensive that I saw was like maybe $6.80 something.
Wow, a gallon.
A gallon, yeah.
Wow.
So
we just bumped up because we were for a long time we were in the 2s. Then we were in like the early $3 a gallon. And then since this stuff with Iran broke out, we went up to $4.15 and then overnight went from $4.15 to $4.99 like over one night.
crazy.
And now, ever since then, it's been right around that high 4s, which has been crazy. But so the weather was perfect.
It was
all the time. It was nice, huh?
Not a cloud in the sky.
Was it like humid, hot, sweaty weather, or was it like just kind of like just bright and nice?
I mean. It wasn't really that humid. So Saturdays, right, we're out in the sun. It's 75 degrees, and we're wearing like this, quarter zips with dress shirts. So, and you're barely sweating. So, it wasn't like here. It'd be 60 degrees, and you can't wear one of these. So, it was really nice. And I told my mom when I was down there, I was like, it reminds me of heaven because it says there's a song that says "Not a cloud in the sky." And every afternoon, there's no clouds. Like, it's just sun, not a cloud to be seen.
So you go from Northeast Ohio, which is the cloudiest, dullest skies, no sun, to all sun, the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a drastic change, but it was nice.
Okay.
So.
So tell us about your schedule there.
Yeah, so before I started working, it was super laid back. You know, I get up at like 6:45, 7 o'clock. My first class was at 8, and so I have classes pretty much the whole morning. It's, you know, back to back, 8 until 10:50. We have chapel every day at 11. And then after chapel, we had a class from like 12:10 to right around 1 o'clock. Then lunch is at 1, and that's it. You're done for the day. So it was nice, especially because I wasn't working. You know, for probably the first month or month and a half, I think, something like that. But I had all the time in the world, you know. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of messages, a lot of stuff that I, you know, had time to work on, which was nice. But then when I started working, you know, you're working 40 hours a week, so that you're keeping that same schedule, and then you're adding
work on top.
working 2 to 10:45 in security. So that's every day, Monday through Friday. Then you have, you know, you get to sleep in a little bit on Saturday. Then you have, you know, ministry. You're out for 3.5 hours or 4 hours, you know, knocking doors or doing bus route. And then, you know, whatever activities for the rest of the day. And then you have church Sunday. So, yeah, it was a lot.
So this podcast is brought to you by Rain Total Energy.
Yeah.
Total body fuel. So energy drinks. You got to know them well while you were in school, as many of us began to dabble into energy drinks as we were in school. So when you're working, and then you got to go to bed and you get 5-6 hours of sleep, maybe less, before you got to get up again. Then you're going to school all day and you got to stay awake. So what was your go-to energy drink? How much money do you think you spent on energy drinks in one semester?
Oh, man. A lot. I don't know. I couldn't give you a number, but I know, like, at work, it was the worst thing. They have a vending machine. That's how they get you, you know. They put a vending machine with energy drinks in it.
At work?
At work.
Wow.
So it's like every day I'm spending like $3.50.
What's in the vending machine?
They had White Monster, which is probably the one that I went with the most.
Okay, that's a go-to.
White Monster. They had Rockstar, which is okay. They Red Bulls, and then they had the watermelon sugar Red Bull. So that one was okay. I think sugar-free Red Bull's probably the best still. So yeah, I mean, get one like every day. You know? So it's like I just automatically know I have this amount coming out of my paycheck towards energy drinks. So.
Yeah. So that was a big budget
Yeah.
budget item. Which energy drink do you feel like really gives you the most energy? Because there's some energy drinks that, you know, you like the taste of them, but they're not the ones when you really are dragging and you need something. They're not the ones you go to. What are the ones that you go to?
I think White Monster.
White Monster is the one that gets you going.
Because I remember this. There was one particular day that I got like 3 hours of sleep, and I had classes all day. It was my busiest day, you know. Because like Tuesday I had one class, so that day was nice. But I think
Tuesday you only had one class.
I only had one class.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was done by 10. Go to chapel and then have the rest.
You're
of the day
done
until work. But yeah, there was one day. It was every single class that I had, so my schedule was packed, and then I'm working, and I was like falling asleep. I was like, I can't fall asleep on the job, you know. I was sitting there like
at work.
At work,
yeah,
dozing off, you know. And so you're like, you know, trying to do everything to stay awake, and I didn't want to spend money because I was already at my budget. And I was like, it's okay, you know, I need a White Monster.
You got to do it to stay awake.
Yeah, so I had a 15-minute break. So I went to the vending machine. I get the White Monster, and I took a 10-minute nap, and then I drank that Monster, and it was great.
That did it.
It did. It was up for the rest of the time.
So I remember being in security and Bible college, and I would do push-ups to try to stay awake, you know, get the blood flowing. But I worked third shift, so I worked a little bit of second shift, but eventually I fell into the third shift schedule for a long time, and so I was going to work at 11 o'clock, getting off at 7, and then driving over to get to school and get dressed and everything by 8 or 9, usually 8 for classes. So, we needed energy drinks. And is the school pretty loose on drinking energy drinks?
Yeah, they never said anything.
Okay.
I don't think it's even in like the handbook.
Are there a lot of people that drink energy drinks there? Okay.
Yeah, all the guys. Like so.
I think now it's not as big of a deal, but I think when energy drinks first came out, because of the marketing that was surrounding them, like they were marketed a lot with like, heavy rock and roll, and they were marketed with like sometimes in bar scenes and just kind of like crazy stuff, and maybe people that weren't the best Christian role models.
Yeah.
And so a lot of like at least the independent Baptist world were really afraid of energy drinks because they felt like they were like a step towards being drunk or whatever.
Yeah.
And but I think everyone is kind of like chilled out on it because there's such a mainstream now in society. Like
Right.
everybody drinks energy drinks, so it's like they've kind of realized, okay, the sky's not falling. Just because I drink an energy drink doesn't mean I'm gonna lose my salvation.
Yeah.
So now they're probably more accepted there. But is there a special energy drink out there that's not available here?
Not that I know of.
Okay, so they're pretty much all the same stuff.
Yeah, I didn't see anything that was.
Sometimes they have like local stuff, where they got like a local drink or something. And I love to try new energy drinks. So, well, that's good. So you made some friends while you were there.
I did.
Any enemies?
Not. I don't think so. I hope not.
So friends.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, before we get to the friendships with the school,
Yeah.
did you fail any quizzes or tests?
Quizzes or tests. So I missed the midterm.
You missed it.
I missed the midterm.
Where'd it go?
I had work training, and
Oh, okay.
I missed like the day, I think, because they moved it. So it was originally supposed to be on Friday, but they gave us the day off, and so they pushed it to Monday. Well, I had work training Monday to Wednesday, in the mornings, from like 9 to 3, and so that's literally during my whole class schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So I missed those 3 days, and you have like a week to make it up. And so I was like, well, I have 2 more tests I have to take during this week. Like it was Thursday, so I had a test Thursday, and then I had 2 tests Friday. And so that next test I could make up that following Monday. But I went to ask the teacher for to take it. I was like, do I have to take it in the office? And he was like, well, technically, because it was originally on Friday, you only had a week from Friday to make it up. And I didn't know that. And so I missed the midterm. So I did fail that class.
You failed that class.
I did.
Oh, no.
I had a lot of people like, why are you showing up to class now? They're like, you're going to fail it anyway. So I still showed up to class. I took the final. I got an 80 something on the final.
But you can't you cannot pass it because of the midterm?
Just because of the percentage weight.
Okay.
So
of the midterm.
Yeah, I had to get 125% on it on the final to pass. So I think I ended it with like a 69 or something.
So you got to retake that one.
So I have to retake that one.
What class was that?
It's Bible doctrines.
Oh no!
I know.
Bible doctrines.
I like the one class that I
of all the classes you could have taken.
Yeah, but everything else I had A's and high B's. I think the lowest grade I had was 80s.
What was your
4.
favorite class?
Probably hermeneutics or youth work.
Okay.
I had youth work, which I substituted out. I had like fundamentals of music, and so I dropped that class and took youth work instead. It's like a class on. You would think it's dealing with youth, which it did, but the teacher like talked about a bunch of other things that kind of tied into that. So it was a really good class.
Okay, so this probably won't mean anything to me, but maybe people that are watching. Favorite teacher?
Favorite favorite teacher. Man, that's a tough one. There's two that I could say. It is for those classes, hermeneutics. So in hermeneutics, his name was, or youth work, his name was Pastor Ortiz, and he pastors in Fremont. I forget the name of his church, but he's in Fremont, and he's just very, very like plain, you know. So it's simple teaching, but he explains things very well. And then the other teacher in hermeneutics, I don't know why his name's blanking. I can picture him in my mind. He's also a pastor, and he drives out. He leaves at like 3 in the morning, and drives all the way to the college to teach every week. So you know he's done that for years. Pastor Miracle. So, but yeah, they those are the two that I would say are probably my favorite. And then of course Brother Oxendine. So he's in Bible.
I've heard of him.
Yeah,
he's the Bible doctrines.
Yeah, he's the vice president. So
yeah, I've heard of him, and some people that have graduated talked about him. I don't think I've ever met him, but
yeah.
Well, good. So friendships and relationships. Made some friends.
I did.
Yeah. Now, were they primarily like people that were in your dorm? Were they people you were in ministry with and classes with? Same. Because technically you're a freshman, right?
Yeah.
And you'll be a freshman in the fall as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all the guys are pretty close. I guess this past semester was one of the smallest groups
in the school,
and that they've had in the college. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, which I was surprised. So,
but still several hundred, I'm assuming.
I think so. I know, like in one of our classes, we had 99 of them students. So
in one class?
In one class, it was in the chapel.
That's kind of a big class.
Yeah, philosophy and music.
Wow.
It was. It took forever to do. They take attendance, so they're calling 99 people's names.
Wow, that's got to take like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it took them a while. But yeah, I mean, the guys, we were pretty close. I think there was like probably 80 guys, maybe around there. And then there was definitely a lot more girls than guys, which was different, you know, because we need, you know, young men, and so you can kind of see how you know it's kind of dwindling out. But anyway, not to get on that topic. But
so there's more girls than guys.
There was, yeah,
okay,
by far.
Okay,
they're overwhelming. No, I'm just kidding. Overwhelming majority. So no, but the guys, they were pretty close, just in general. And then at least the guys that I got really close to, so one of them, we actually were on the same flight. When I flew in, we were on the same flight because he's from Georgia, and so when I flew down, I flew to Georgia and then I flew to Santa Clara, and so we were on the same flight and didn't even know it, and so we kind of obviously connected because of that, and then we just talked about a bunch of stuff. This was his last semester, so he's done. But it's crazy.
Oh, so he's a senior then. Okay.
Well, he's a junior, I think. But he's about to get married and everything.
Oh, okay.
So he was just like, you know, I'm going to be done now.
He's done. Yeah.
So, because he's like, I don't really need the degree, because he's like, I'm just, you know, I learned a lot, and he's like, I think the Lord's moving me out. So, but what's crazy is he asked me to be in his wedding, and so I'm a groomsman at his wedding in November.
This guy's known you for 5 months.
Well, less than that.
4 months.
Like 3.5, yeah.
And he's asking you to be in his wedding.
No, it was surprising.
Wow.
So, but we had some deep, you know, theological talks. I think we were up till 2:30 one night talking about stuff. So.
I think dorm life brings people together because you spend so much time with people.
Yeah.
That it's like, you know, a normal relationship, you might see your friend once or twice a week, 3 times a week for a couple hours, but in that kind of situation, you're with each other all day in classes or in the dorm or chapel or whatever. So, by the way, what was your favorite food from the cafeteria?
Ooh.
Because they make, like, what, breakfast, lunch, dinner? Or
they do, yeah.
3 meals a day
3 meals
they make.
a day. And Could have saved a lot of money
Do you why?
by just eating at the college all the time.
Oh, so you weren't eating at the college
Well,
all the time?
I would, but we go out to eat.
Okay.
You know how guys are. We're like,
Yeah.
It's Wednesday night. Let's go get something to eat.
So did you get like a sack lunch when you went to work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we go in for lunch and grab dinner.
Yeah.
Take that.
So what was your favorite meal?
Probably they had this chicken sandwich that was really good. So I don't even know what it was, but it had like some whatever sauce with it, and I don't know if they just cooked it.
Okay, so chicken sandwich was your favorite.
They had I'm trying to think of what else they had. There was a couple that were like stay away from.
Okay. Yeah, what was your least favorite?
The fish sticks.
Fish sticks least
Yeah.
favorite.
Like
okay.
when you saw that on the menu, you knew we're going out to eat.
We're
for
not
dinner
eating that.
tonight.
Okay.
So, yeah, the chicken sandwich was probably
Okay, what was your favorite restaurant in the area
in
there?
the area. Probably In-N-Out.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Is that
'cause
the first time you ever had it?
it is.
Really? Okay.
Because
You haven't really
I don't think
there's none around here.
no. There's the closest one. I don't even know. It's not in the state. So,
No.
yeah, first time I had it. I probably had it 4 times while I was down there. So,
Wow.
or over there technically.
That's not too many times.
No.
You had once a month, that's not too many.
No. Yeah. So.
I had a heated discussion with
Oh no.
people about In-N-Out versus Whataburger.
No, I've never had Whataburger.
I love Whataburger, but the In-N-Out fans, they don't handle that kind of conversation very well. They're pretty upset about. They're pretty devout in their In-N-Out taste.
Their stance, yeah.
Yeah, their stance on it. So I've had both. I like In-N-Out Burger. It's just not Whataburger to me.
Yeah.
But I like it. I mean, it's better than McDonald's or Burger
for
King
sure.
or
Yeah.
Wendy's, anything like that. So we were talking about the culture of the people there.
Yeah.
So tell me about. Okay, so you've lived in Northeast Ohio your whole life,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
In Lorain County, your whole
Yes.
life. So you've gotten to know the people around here, the way that they are. And the thing that's interesting about here compared to almost every other place that I've lived, I'm trying to think, maybe other than like one little small town I lived in, is that all those other places that I lived at, people move in and out a lot. Here, it's not really like that. Like in Elyria, like maybe closer towards Cleveland, a little more of that.
Yeah.
But out here, it's like people don't really move in and out.
Ever, yeah.
They don't move. I mean, they might move around the city, but they don't. We don't get people that are like, oh, I'm moving from here or there. I mean, it's rare. Pastor Tim, obviously, and his family, but they had family here. When I lived in Texas, people moved all the time. They came from all over the country, moved in and out all the time. I mean, that was just kind of how it was. So what I've noticed is when in an area like this, it kind of creates a kind of a hardened culture because they've been here forever.
Yeah.
This is how they are. This is how the area is. So it's less. I don't want to say less diverse because people take that to mean like racial. That's not what I mean. But
Yeah.
just diverse. Not as diverse in the culture. So what's the culture like there? At least where you were at, because of course California's huge. But
Yeah. So we're like right next to downtown Santa Clara. It's like the heart of Silicon Valley is what people say. I think there's like 6 million people, in the surrounding area. So it's huge, as far as like people, as far as like bus route and so on, they seemed a lot more open to like just as far as opening their doors.
friendlier.
Like here, they knock at their door and it's like they're pulling out a gun saying,
Yeah, I
if
mean,
you don't get off my property in 30
pretty much.
seconds,
Pretty much.
So out there, and you get that sometimes, but for the majority of people, they'll open their door, or they'll just straight ignore you, which is different. But
Yeah.
for the most part, it was pretty good. They seemed to receive it well. I will say that here it seems to be like there's a lot of like atheists or non-religious people. Like a lot of people over here in the area, not even atheists, but they've been hurt by religion, and so they're kind of just like not religious anymore. That's kind of how it is here, or Catholic. There's a lot of Catholics in the area.
Yeah.
I think there's like four. There's like 4 Catholic churches just over here. Like there's one there. There's one in downtown. But out there, it seemed to be more like there's like Muslim, like Buddhist, just different stuff. And actually, there's this one I was witnessing on a Saturday, and there was this one family that I talked to who were Buddhist, and they were super nice. I explained because their daughter knew English, the parents didn't, and so she was kind of translating. And I told them, I'm from North Valley. We're just passing these out, and do you know who Jesus is? And she was like, well, we're Buddhist, and so it got me thinking. So I asked her. I was like, okay, so what do you guys believe? Do you believe in God? And she said, we pray, and we kind of talk to God. And I said, oh, so you do believe in God? Just to see where she's coming from. And she was like, in a sense, yes. Because I kind of questioned. She said she prayed, but what are you praying to? That's the question. And so she seemed kind of open to it. I don't know how far it got, but you wouldn't expect that. If you hear someone's Buddhist, you're thinking they're devout like monks, like living in way out there. So it's a lot different, and we have the Holy Spirit to help you witness to them. And to lead you on what to say, stuff like that.
So I think I was talking to my wife about this. I think part of the issue with the Northeast Ohio, well, first of all, in this area, we have a lot of door-to-door salespeople here. And because people don't move much, it's the same people's doors that are getting, and it's not a big area here.
Right.
So it's the same people that are getting their doors knocked on all the time. So then anytime anybody tries to come to their door, they get defensive about it.
Yeah.
We've been doing our Saturation Saturday once a month, and we'll hit anywhere. This last time we were a little bit lower, but usually we're close to 500 doors, which it's a lot for our church. It's a lot for this area. But in the grand scheme of things, like for as many people as we have, it really doesn't take that long to do that.
Right.
And every time we do it, I get emails and voicemails.
Oh my goodness.
And this last time, I got an email from someone that was like, "I've got something on my door that says no soliciting. Don't ever tell your people, don't ever come back here." And all they didn't even knock. All they did was leave something on the door.
Right.
A baggie that has an invitation to church and maybe something else about a ministry here, and left it on the door, and that's it.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was, I won't give the email address, but the part of the email address was by His grace was in the email address. So obviously like a Christian, but maybe a different branch or different denomination or whatever, and they didn't really want us on their door or whatever. I don't know, but I think it's just because people don't really move in and out much, and also the weather.
Yeah.
Like when it's cold, people don't want to talk, Yeah. I mean, when the sun is shining and you step outside and you feel the warmth, you're like, man, life's great, God's good.
Yeah.
I'm going to run, I'm going to go do something. And but when it's cold, you're like, oh, man, I'm going to go inside, I don't want to talk to anybody.
Right.
And so maybe that California sun, I've always been perplexed about like that kind of like ministry in this area because of all the places I've lived. Northeast Ohio has been the worst with trying to talk to people about the Lord. I mean, it has just been the worst. So we've tried to kind of change up a little bit of how we do our evangelism here because of that. But it's good to hear that over there, people are a little bit more open, even just talking, because if you can get someone talking, you can plant a seed of the gospel.
Yeah.
And not necessarily that they're going to get saved, but you never know. Like you plant a seed and somebody else plants a seed, the Holy Spirit's working on them, and you never know at what point they'll come to Christ. But speaking of that, what ministry opportunities did you have there when you were in school there?
Yeah. So mandatory is that you on Saturday you're going out for 3 hours, and so you have
So it's a strict time limit.
it is 3 hours minimum. Yeah.
3 hours minimum.
Yeah.
So how do they tell who's going how long or where you're going or what you're doing?
So you fill out an activity report.
Okay, that's
every-
what we did.
Either
yeah.
Sunday night or Monday.
Okay.
It has to be done before Monday night. But you basically put how many hours or who you went with, how many hours you went, what bus route you were on, and then you put for Sunday like what services you attended at, and they have scan-in things for like services. So you scan your ID. But for sewing,
For the college people, you scan an
correct,
ID
yeah,
to get into the building or what?
just for services. So like Sunday morning, they know you were there because you scan in.
So there's a scanner somewhere for the college kids
In the
to
back of
scan in.
the auditorium, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so they were super lax on it, but there were some people who I'm not gonna disclose. But they
we want names.
they would they'd either not scan in or they'd skip. They'd sleep in, and so they'd skip Sunday
on Saturday.
School. Yeah.
Oh no, on Sunday.
On Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So they'd sleep in or skip Sunday school or something and have someone else scan in for them.
Mm.
And so they do dorm checks, and I guess they'd scanned in for the service and put that they went, but when they did dorm checks, they were in the dorm, and so they were like, from now on, if you don't scan in, like it's like you get 5 demerits every time you don't scan in, and it's like
You're fired.
yeah, it's bad. So,
Wow. So the Saturday ministry that you're doing,
yeah.
was there someone that was like, "Hey, you need to go out to this area," or was it like you guys just drove around and?
So everyone gets a bus route, like, or you join a bus route. There's I was on 20, and there's like, I think there's 29. So 20 to 29 is C ministry, which is just the college students. Like we run the routes.
So those routes are only run during the school year.
Well, no. So they have the college students that stay over the summer. They still run it.
Okay.
So but I think they might have like the church people help out with it. You know, if there's too many college students that went home. But for the most part, as long as like or during the semesters, we're doing all of it. And that's headed up by one of the guys on staff, Brother Simmons. But yeah, so you have 3 hours, and so you go out at 9:30. We have the C ministry meeting, so we all meet in the chapel at 9:30, and it normally goes like 15 minutes, and then everyone splits to their bus, and then your bus captain will give you like, here's the rundown, here's our goals for the month. You know, we want to see this many people saved. We want to hit these many doors. We have this area to hit. And so you'll go out and you'll visit your bus route, and then after that you go sewing, most likely in the surrounding area there.
Okay. So how far was your route from the school?
I think we were probably 15-20 minutes.
Okay, so not far.
Yeah, so we were in Milpitas, which is like it's like to the right.
Now, does the 3 hours include In-N-Out runs, McDonald's runs,
I don't
gas
think it's
station
supposed
runs?
to.
Not supposed to.
We're not
okay.
supposed to, but we'd stop and get breakfast, and eat it real quick and go.
So pretty much you guys would just stop at a certain time and go back to school to the dorms. I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they have you have to be off the campus by 10:20, or they get demerits. So
On Saturday, you have to
Saturday.
be off the property.
Yeah.
Like out doing ministry.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, what other ministry opportunities other than the bus route on Saturday and that kind of stuff?
Yeah. So Sunday you have Sunday school, Sunday morning service.
You're on the bus on Sunday.
Right, and then you have as a freshman, I wasn't allowed to do. You have like to go pick up the kids in the morning, and then they all go to Clyde, which is the other property. That's not the main. It used to be the old church building, and they have the Spanish ministry there and all the Sunday school classes there. But if you're freshman, you have to go to the college Sunday school class, and so that's what I was on Sunday morning. Then you can ride the bus on Sunday afternoon, which I did sometimes, but I also had nursing home, which I was in, and so I preached in nursing home probably 4 times. I joined one of the nursing
Is
homes.
it every Sunday?
nursing home.
You was it
It's
every Sunday?
yes.
Okay. Usually you would just go and help
Yeah.
out sometimes.
Yeah, so our nursing home started at 2:30. So you're getting out at 12 something, and then freshmen have tents. And so we go to the gym, and they have classes in there. They set up like these big poles and curtain and all that stuff. So we tear all that down. And because of that, your bus is leaving at like 12:30, and so we wouldn't be done in time. So we just end up doing nursing home. But yeah, so I think that was probably it for the most part. Is just bus route, nursing home.
So when you came home on Friday?
Saturday night.
Saturday. So you've got a lot of free time.
Oh yeah.
Like for the first time in 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
So you learned really what it means to be busy.
Yeah.
Back when you were working at least, because
Still.
when you weren't working, you probably had a little more time.
Too much time.
Yeah, too much time. So, so you learned what it was really like. Because I mean, if you're working Monday to Friday,
Yeah.
and you've got school Monday to Friday, then Saturday you're pretty much the only free time you have is like 4 to 10 maybe, 4
Yeah.
p.m. to 10 p.m. or 3 to 10, and then you're busy pretty much all day Sunday because you have 6 o'clock service Sunday night.
Yep.
So that was one of the things that I really, I don't want to say regretted, but one of the things that I found frustrating with when I was in school was just how busy you are. That there's almost like there's no time for anything.
Right.
Unless the school gives you a day off or they plan like a, an outing or something like that. But that's what school is. So
Yeah.
we kept busy. All right. So as we close, lessons learned
Yeah.
after one semester.
Yeah.
Lessons learned.
I actually had to write. I had to write a paper on it, and I should have printed it.
You
out.
had to write a paper on what you learned this semester?
So it was just called Tips for GSBC for Surviving, and so I
Oh.
basically the way that I interpreted that is what I wrote about is basically like lessons that I learned.
Mhm.
It tips to help freshmen coming in, which it was real short. I should have printed it out, but basically is make sure you're getting enough sleep. You have to schedule everything.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's the biggest thing is you'll either and anyone that goes to Bible college will tell you this. You'll either get closer to the Lord or you'll get further from the Lord. You'll either have time to read your Bible and pray, or you'll forget about it, and then it's been 2 weeks and you haven't even looked at your Bible, other than like chapel and classes and stuff. So you have to schedule everything, and so I'm terrible with planning things, and so I had to get an app on my phone that has like where I put everything in there, and it reminds me. Because if I put it on paper, I'll lose the paper, or I'll be like, I forgot to look at my planner. It's on my desk, buried under my books. So you have to plan everything, and you have to set time aside, to get alone with the Lord. Which prayer is really, I feel like a neglected thing,
Yeah.
because you can do it anytime.
Mhm.
And so if I if I didn't have time to pray in the morning, then before I'm going to bed, I'm making sure I can stay up 5 more minutes and thank the Lord for the day and all this stuff. So definitely putting a schedule together. I would say keeping your budget tight. At least in California, with making money, you're making really good money out there. And so like there's one guy that comes to mind. I won't name him, but if he watches it, he'll know exactly who I'm talking about. He makes really good money, but he always goes out to eat, and so he's always broke. He's always broke. And I told him, I'm like, dude, you could literally be so...
And he's not eating off the dollar menu either.
Right. You could be so financially... He spent like $20 every time, And so like you would have so much financial freedom if you just... When you went to go eat, instead of going to eat, if you put that $20 in your savings, I was like, you'd have so much more money. Because he was trying to make payments for the semester, and I'm like, dude, come on. I'm like, this is your McDonald's meal.
So you learned a lesson about time management, financial management.
Yeah.
What else?
Then probably the most important is Bible stuff. And so
Yeah.
I put on this note is there's 4 things that that really stuck with me over the semester, which was as far as like preaching and teaching, is you can preach all day long, But if you don't teach your people what you're preaching to them, how are they supposed to do it? And so that was from the youth work class, and he emphasized that is where you have to teach. He said, I can preach obedience all day long, but if you don't know what it means to obey, it's not going to be beneficial to you. You know? So that was one. And then another one was Trieber always says, make a manual for everything you do. Is make sure that you have your stuff laid out. And he always refers to the verse that says the end of a thing's better than the beginning. And he always says, you look toward the end and you work your way back, right? If you want to be, and that's how successful people think too. You know, if you want to be a millionaire, then you put that goal and you work back. How do I get to that point? And then there were two more things: is always be happy to serve. You know, if you have an opportunity to serve, don't take it lightly. You know, say yes to serve. And then it's like the slogan of the college, which is ministry is great. And it really is. You know, when you think about the fact that, you know, we're saved and we have the opportunity to go reach the world and to show them who Christ was through our life, then it becomes more personal, but also it brings a greater burden on you, because if you're not living right, you're representing Christ in a bad way. And so just having a good testimony is also probably one of the biggest things as well. So
Okay.
yeah.
Last thing, and we'll close.
Oh, no.
I saw a pastor do this recently, and I've been tempted and scared
Oh no.
and excited to do this.
Oh boy.
And so you won't be the first person. So I'm going to put you on the spot,
Oh, there
okay?
you go.
And I think I already know some of the answer, but I've been your pastor for, 7 years.
Yeah.
3 years assistant pastor.
Yeah.
So, and how old are you now?
20.
Okay, so probably most of your life that you really start to remember, I've been your pastor, right?
Yeah.
So you've heard me preach a million times, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Name the titles of 5 sermons.
Oh,
5
goodness.
sermons that I've preached. It can be any sermon. It can be any title. It's funny, when I was watching this video, this guy was asking, or one person in the church was asking all the people in the church, and they were all kind of struggling. And I was like, man, I can't think of 5 sermons that I've preached.
You're right.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot. So
Oh, man.
5 titles.
Oh man. That's tough.
It is tough.
Man, I don't even know. I can't tell you. You'll be surprised at this one. There's one that you preached way forever ago, Victory, which was kicking against the pricks.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, you were like fresh out of college
Yeah.
probably with that one.
Yeah, that was one of my first sermons.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I remember that one too.
Oh.
There's one. That's a really good one for. I mean, not that the sermon was good, but that's to remember that one.
I know. I don't know why. I just remember that's the first time I heard someone preach on that.
So I don't. And while you're thinking, I'll fill time.
There we go.
I don't really. A lot of my sermons sometimes they have catchy titles, but I don't really tend to use
No.
crazy titles or anything like that.
Like
Well, wait a second. Isn't it your job? Wasn't it your job to write the titles into the website?
I did.
Wasn't
I
that
did.
your job?
Yeah,
So
in the
you
media.
should definitely know what the titles are.
Let's see. I don't even.
I just thought of that because we have on our website we put all the titles of the sermons
For
and
the
audio.
media. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have to put them in the categories too, right? Like
Yeah.
if it's a series or something.
I could probably open my email and give you the.
You could give me all of them, yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's another one that I know. That
There's one that I thought everyone that's been here since COVID would say,
Oh my goodness.
and I'm surprised you haven't said it yet. But Kick Against the Pricks was that's an OG.
I think that
right
one
there.
counts as 5.
Yeah, that might.
That's like 7 years ago or 6 years ago.
That was even longer than that. That was when I was that was right when I became the assistant. That was probably 10 years ago or 9 years ago.
Man, I know. I can remember it was a Sunday afternoon. Oh my goodness. It was something about, like, I'm pretty sure it was you being led to the water.
That was my dad.
Oh, was it your dad?
Yeah, that was his last sermon here.
Okay.
I think it was you've been led to the water.
brought to the water.
You've been brought to the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his last sermon
See,
here.
he always did stuff like that.
He's real big on that, like catchy titles, you know.
Yeah.
You could probably name 5 of my dad's sermons,
I
you
don't
know.
know.
I remember one that he preached called A Whole Lot of Shaking Going On. which I didn't realize till much later that was like an Elvis song, like the title of an Elvis song.
That's crazy.
But it was about Samson.
Yeah, I don't remember the title, but I remember it was exactly what the church needed, and it was a Wednesday night or a Sunday night.
Yeah, this is the one that I thought everyone would say.
Yeah.
Something stinks.
I don't remember. What was it?
Something stinks.
Something stinks.
Yeah.
It was that message. Yeah.
And I thought that's the one everyone would remember.
I remember it. I just didn't remember the title.
But I'll give you credit for that one. So you got two.
Yeah.
You got two.
2 out of 5.
So 2 out of 5. So we're gonna see who can name more than 2. Maybe tonight we'll go around and ask
there you
people.
go.
Name 5 sermon titles. Yeah, it's tough because it's tough because a lot of preaching and all that is not necessarily you memorizing everything, but it's being there and you're retaining it, even though you don't consciously remember it 24/7.
Right.
But you are retaining it, just by being there. And so, okay, 2. That's your last shot.
Oh man. Steak. Mountains and valleys. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, hey, that is
the current series.
That is the. I'll give you 1 for that.
There you
Okay.
go. There you go.
I'll give you 1 for that. So there you go. 3. Okay. That's it though. No more.
I'm trying to think of the banners because
Yeah.
Man, it was
A lot of mine are.
too.
I do a lot of series.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of ones that are based on like sermons from a sermon. I did the Sermon on the Mount.
Yeah, Think series.
The Think series. Don't you know?
Yeah, don't you know?
From the Know Ye Nots of Scripture. So a lot of series.
I
like
can name
that,
series.
so.
There you go.
Yeah, 5 series. You might be able to do that.
Oh man.
So okay, well maybe tonight we'll ask around since it's Wednesday night.
We'll
We'll
see.
ask around people and just interview them and say the titles of
Name
5
5 messages.
sermons. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's going to be able to do 5.
I don't know.
You know who I think would,
Probably
and
not.
this is going to come out before our. This will come out after we ask people,
Yeah.
so it won't. I think Andrew Vandergriff might
Maybe.
because he's in the media.
Wes might.
Maybe because he makes banners
He
and
makes all
stuff.
the banners
Yeah, that
for
might be either him or Andrew Vandergriff might.
Yeah. We'll see.
So we'll see tonight. So tune in for that. I'm gonna make a video about that, just going around asking people,
Yeah.
name 5 sermons.
There you go.
So all right, closing words. Anything you want to say?
Just trust the Lord, and if there's one thing that I could say was the most important that the Lord constantly had in my mind was seeking Him. Just constantly seeking, and I made it my watch face too. Is seek 1 Chronicles 16:11. Seek the Lord in His strength, seek His face continually, and right along with that is surrender. And a lot of times we're like, oh well, I surrendered 15 years ago for ministry, but I think a lot of us forget that surrendering is a daily thing, right? We have to crucify the old man every day and fight the flesh every day. And so surrendering is a constant thing. Seeking the Lord's constant, and also just that a lot of Christians today, I think they see Bible reading and prayer as an accomplishment, and that's like the surface level, like that's the bare minimum requirement is staying in your Bible and praying, talking to the Lord every day. So anyway, yeah, just to seek the Lord and to rely on Him. So.
Amen. Brother Andrew's going to be interning here at the church over the summer. So even though he's going to be working a job, he'll be preaching. And unbeknownst to him, I've got a lot of work for him to do. So he's been volunteered for.
Amen.
Other than that, we'll do another one maybe over Christmas break. If you come back for Christmas break or spring, Christmas break's a couple weeks.
I think they gave us a month.
So if you do come back, I know with work it's hard to come back, but if you do come back, we'll do a video then. If not, we'll do one maybe May of 2027 and do an update video. It'd be cool to do one every couple semesters.
Yeah, there you go.
And so anyway, if you guys have made it this long, thank you for watching. I don't know if you should like and share this video, but I'll tell you like and share the video. And we'll see you in the next one, all right? Take care.